What if the most agonizing moments of your life are not interruptions to the plan, but the plan itself? What if the architect of your destiny does their most important work in the dark while you are breaking and you are not meant to understand the blueprint? You don't know what is being made while you are aching. You can't see the design while you are crying. You can't comprehend the purpose while you are suffering, but something is being made. It feels like you're being buried. You are cold, isolated, under immense pressure. This is the perspective of the seed. It has no concept of the flower. It understands only the dirt, the darkness, the crushing weight. It feels like an ending, but what feels like a burial is actually a planting. This is the first brutal paradox, and this crushing is not prejudice. It is a universal process. It comes for the corporate giant in the glass tower and the small cupcake shop on the corner. It finds everyone. The pain feels personal, but the process is impersonal. It is the essential force that creates wisdom. You cannot buy this wisdom in a store or find it in a book. It is earned only through pressure. Nelson Mandela did not go to Yale to become president. He went to jail. The prison forged the presidency. The crushing created the character required to lead a nation. He would never have chosen that path. He had food shoved at him like an animal. Yet, that unsavory, horrific crushing was the very crucible of his destiny. The vintner knows exactly where to press the grape to release the best wine. And wine that has been properly crushed doesn't spoil. It endures for decades in a dark cellar, growing more valuable over time. This is why some people survive. They've been through enough crushing to endure time. The rest of us simply ferment. We go sour with disappointment and setbacks. But the survivor, the one who has been through the press, they can handle it. They don't need the applause. They don't need the crowd. They learned to operate when the building was empty. The crushing pushed out everything that was weak and left only what was essential. And this is where the rules of reality seem to flip upside down. To get life, you must go through death. To go up, you must first go down. If you exalt yourself, you will be humbled. If you humble yourself, you will be exalted. Jesus arrives to bring life, and then he dies, because the price of new life was death itself. This is the economy of the kingdom, and it runs contrary to every instinct we have. We wear our masks. We paint on a smile. We perform the part of being okay because we are terrified of revealing the chaos inside. We yearn to just say, I am hurting, I am confused, this feels like death. But we don't, because pain is always personal. It's the secret behind your eyes that nobody can translate. Intimacy means into me see, yet we let no one see into us. And in that isolation, we make a critical mistake. We confuse pruning with punishment. When the cut comes, we assume we are being punished for a failure. But you do not prune a dead bush. You only prune a fruitful one. Pruning is the reward for having something of value, a sign that there is even more potential to be unlocked. The cut feels the same, but the intention is the difference between life and death. You are not cursed because you had a bad day. You are being cultivated. And in that process, you don't get answers. You can't. Asking for answers in the middle of your crisis is like trying to diagnose a tsunami while you're still in the wave. The frustration will distract you from the one thing that matters, survival. You must get to the other side first. Only in retrospect does the pattern emerge. Only when looking back do you see that while all you had was pain, there was always a plan. The real test is not whether you can understand. The test is whether you can obey when you don't. Can you trust the process? Can you stay on the ship, even when it's breaking apart around you? Because salvation is not in jumping overboard to escape the cane. Salvation is in clinging to the broken pieces of the very thing that carried you into the storm. A setback is just a setup for a comeback. So the question is never, why me? The question is, why not me? If the Master's own Son went to the cross, why should you be spared the crucible? If much is given, much is required. You cannot have the blessing of the harvest without enduring the violence of the plow. Trouble has an expiration date, but trauma, the story we tell ourselves about the trouble, can last a lifetime. Don't let it. Your response determines your outcome. You don't know what God is making. You are the seed, constricted by His methods, imprisoned by His purpose, locked in a situation where all you can do is trust that the one who planted you knows the season for your blooming. And when that time is right, nobody can hold you down.